You ever have one of those moments where you realize a person's ego just crossed a line you didn't even think existed? That was the day our HOA president marched into the post office and tried to claim every single piece of mail in our neighborhood as her own. I'm not exaggerating. She actually said, "All deliveries must go through me first." You could have heard a pin drop when she said it. The postmaster's face went pale, then tight, like he'd just bit into a lemon made of pure rage. And me. I was standing there with my wife trying to wrap my head around the fact that this woman who once fined a guy for using the wrong shade of beige on his mailbox was now declaring herself the gatekeeper of the United States Postal Service. It started a few months back slow and weird like these things usually do. I'm Travis Grant. I sell industrial security systems, the kind of stuff meant to keep chaos out. I like things that click label neatly and stay in their place. My wife Lauren is an EMT. She's got the kind of calm that can settle a room on fire. And then there's our HOA president, Gloria Kendrick. Imagine a woman who thinks every cul-de-sac should be run like a country club. Pastel suits, Pearl's clipboard, and a stare that could sand paint off your front door. Gloria had been picking fights for months, writing up violations about recycling bins, holiday decorations, even the sound of someone's wind chimes. But then she started getting obsessed with the mail. First, it was small sticky notes saying unapproved delivery colors on people's packages. Then letters started disappearing. Flyers for lawn services, wedding invitations, even a kid's birthday card, all gone. And somehow, Gloria would find them a week later, opened with a little note attached about proper community presentation. We all grumbled, rolled our eyes, but nobody wanted to be the one to take her on. Until that afternoon, at the Cedar Hollow post office. Lauren and I were there mailing some parts for a client when we heard the metallic slam of the security shutter coming down. Everyone in the lobby jumped. The sound echoed like a jail door. Postmaster Reeves stood behind the counterphone in hand voice, calm but tight. "Ma'am," he said, "I've asked you 3 times to step away from the outgoing mail bin." And there she was, Gloria standing with her hands on her hips, a dolly stacked with gray postal tubs beside her full of mail from our neighborhood. "This is HOA property," she snapped. "It all needs to be reviewed for community compliance." Reeves blinked slowly. "Ma'am, this is federal property. You are interfering with mail delivery. That's a felony." Lauren had her phone up recording. We talked about this, how Gloria had been escalating. We wanted evidence. The air in that little post office felt charged like right before a thunderstorm. Then it got worse. A woman in line misses. "Jacobs, she lives 2 streets over," spoke up, her voice trembling. "My husband's insulin was supposed to come today, in a small white cooler." She pointed to the dolly. My stomach sank. Sure enough, there it was tucked between a stack of catalogs and boxes, a white styrofoam cooler with bright red letters. "Medical supplies. Keep refrigerated." Gloria waved her hand like she was brushing off a gnat. "Everything's being sorted properly. If it's that important, the sender should plan ahead." Lauren's tone went sharp, the EMT voice that could slice through chaos. "That's a human life you're holding hostage, Gloria. Move." The room went silent except for the hum of the fluorescent lights. I took a step forward, arms crossed, just standing there, not threatening, just immovable. Reeves called the postal inspectors on speaker, describing every detail. Gloria was trapped. For a second, I thought she might realize what she'd done, but instead she kicked the dolly and started shouting, "You'll regret this. I am the president of Cedar Hollow Estates." Reeves didn't even flinch. "You're about to be a defendant, ma'am." When the inspectors arrived 15 minutes later, Gloria tried to grab the outgoing mail bin and make a run for it. She shoved a young clerk kid, couldn't have been more than 19, right into the wall of P.O. boxes. That was it. The inspectors didn't yell. They just stepped in, calm as ever, handcuffs ready. Gloria Kendrick, you're under arrest for mail interference and assault on a federal employee." The sound of those cuffs clicking shut was maybe the most satisfying sound I've ever heard. Now, most people would have stopped there, but Lauren and I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to it. The inspectors found a forged document in Gloria's bins, a fake authorization claiming the HOA board had requested a mail hold on the entire neighborhood. It was signed by something called the Cedar Hollow Architectural Committee, which didn't even exist. The more we dug, the uglier it got. Turns out Gloria had set up a secret P.O. box under a fake name, Allen Price Treasurer, paid for with untraceable money orders. When we showed that to the inspectors, they cross-checked security footage. 6 months earlier, Gloria had opened that box with a man named Daniel Monroe, a developer who'd been trying to buy our protected Greenbelt land for years. Suddenly, it all made sense. She wasn't just drunk on power, she was selling us out. Lauren and I reached out to someone we trusted, Mr. Lawson, the HOA secretary. Nervous guy, always wringing his hands, clearly scared of Gloria. We met him at a coffee shop, showed him the photo of Gloria with the developer. He went pale. "She said it was just for legal mail," he whispered. Then Lauren asked softly, "Legal mail doesn't usually come with bribe recordings, does it, Mr. Lawson?" He froze. Then he reached into his briefcase and pulled out a tiny voice recorder. "I kept it," he said quietly. "She made me record the call. He wanted proof she agreed to the deal." We hit play. Gloria's voice came through smooth and smug. "So we're agreed. 200,000 once the vote passes." Monroe's voice answered, "That's right, Madam President. Just make sure the opposition mail never arrives." It was all there. The motive, the money, the plan. We turned everything over to the inspectors and helped them trace the payments through a fake landscaping consulting company. The federal case grew, then split into 2 mail tampering and wire fraud. But we weren't done. We decided to end it where it began, in front of everyone. At the next HOA meeting, Gloria strutted up to the podium trying to push through her development partnership. The room was packed. You could smell the tension and cheap coffee. She smiled wide. "This is an exciting opportunity for Cedar Hollow's future." That's when I stood up. "Point of order, Madam President." Her smile flickered. "This isn't the time, Mr. Grant." "Oh, I think it is." Lauren plugged her laptop into the projector. The screen behind Gloria flickered, and suddenly there it was, the video of her screaming at the postmaster, the shove, the handcuffs, the voice recording. Every neighbor sat frozen as the truth played out in high definition. 15 minutes later, the room erupted. People shouted, cursed, demanded resignations. Gloria didn't say a word. She just turned and walked out, her heels echoing like a slow drumbeat of defeat. The fallout was massive. The HOA was dissolved, rebuilt from scratch with transparency rules and term limits. Gloria and Monroe both pled guilty mail fraud, forgery, assault, conspiracy. The judge, a no-nonsense woman named Alvarez, gave them matching lectures that could have melted steel. But her sentence for Gloria, that was poetry. "Mrs. Kendrick," she said, "for the next 5 years, you are prohibited from coming within 20 feet of any mailbox or postal property." You could see Gloria's face twist as the irony sank in. She also had to repay every stolen cent over $100,000 and serve 500 hours of community service. And the cherry on top, the court assigned her to clean floors at the same post office where it all went down. Bright orange vest, mop in hand, working under Postmaster Reeves. I've seen her there a few times when dropping off packages. She doesn't look up. She just sweeps. These days, our neighborhood feels lighter. No more fear, no more bogus violation letters taped to doors. Mr. Lawson took over as interim president and did something symbolic. He measured out a 20-foot circle around our mail kiosk and painted it orange. Federal zone, he said. Untouchable. Every time I grab my mail, I glance at that line. It's faded now, but it's still there. A reminder of what happens when people forget that power has limits. So yeah, maybe it's just mail. But in our town, it became something bigger. Proof that a community can stand up to control freaks in pastel suits. Proof that decency still has a backbone. What do you think, though? Was the judge too harsh? Or not nearly enough? Drop your thoughts below. I'm real curious how you'd handle someone like Gloria in your neighborhood.